Hello, welcome to my presentation about how to teach AI to teach me Vue. So before we start, I need to confess that even though it's a Vue topic, I don't know Vue, but I want to learn it. We live in these amazing times where with AI, with everything, with all the new technologies. So I think learning Vue now may be much easier and can be much faster for me than a few years before. So, a few words about me. I'm Maciej. I work here in Montreal for more than or almost 6 years now. I'm a senior front-end developer, but also for the recent year or 2 years, I worked as AI expert, working here with development and delivery teams to use AI effectively, and to help teams, be to better work with AI tools and AI workflows. So, as a front-end developer, I worked mostly with React and Next.js. And as AI expert, you may imagine that I use AI a lot. So, really big part of the code I do at work is AI generated now. So the question is, as a React developer working with Next.js, can I jump into Next project and work on it, but also learn Next at the same time? So when I work with React and Next, sometimes I'm okay with generating a lot of code because I am the expert here and I can verify if the code that AI generated for me is good or not. But with Next, I need some framework to first to verify everything and also to learn properly. So my AI learning protocol would be to use AI as a translator. So I know a lot about front-end development. I know about how the web works, how to build websites, how to do different things. I know it in React, in Next.js. So I don't need to learn the basics. I just want AI to translate what I already know to this new world of Next and Vue. So I wanted to know my context that I'm the expert here. I'm the senior developer. I know how to do it. I just need to know the specifics of the new framework that I'm learning. I want to trust the AI, but I want to also verify it. I want to be sure that what I generate, it's okay, even though it's new for me. And I also want to build knowledge so that I can use it later and I can come back to it. So let me show you how I do it. We'll be working on this example. This is the new default website, which I highly recommend. It's our Monterail AI initiative about the research initiative and media about AI and how different people in different companies use AI in their work. So this is a website built in Next. It's a simple site connected to a Storyblock CMS. So let's start with that and try to jump in this project and start working on some tasks. So before we start, we need to ensure that that we and AI have all it needs. So it means good documentation. We should have some cursor rules or agent.md file so that this rules for AI how to generate code. And it will be really good to have proper task specification, because basically what's good for humans is good for AI. So these things will be beneficial for us whether we use AI or not for this development. And the first problem is that when I jump into this repository, I don't know it. There are different folders, different files. And first of all, I don't know the specific of Next project. What is the structure here? But I also don't know the specific of this particular project. So, I could ask a developer from this project to explain some things to me. But if other developers are not available, I can use AI for that. So I have this onboarding prompt that I designed to analyze the repository for me and present it like a overview and documentation about the project. But knowing that my experience, what is my experience, right? That I work with React, I work with Next.js, so I am a senior developer. I have 6 years of experience in Frontend. I just don't know Next, so I don't want it to tell me the basics. I want to tell me what is important for me. So, architecture overview, what is the project structure, but also things that are quite important, some unusual or non-standard decisions, and how to translate my knowledge to these Next patterns that are used in this project. So when I run it, I get this big markdown file with onboarding that I can read through it. It's quite long, but it's still faster to read it than going through the whole repo myself and trying to guess what some parts do. So there are all these different patterns like translated to me, but also some non-standard things that the team decided to do for some reason that maybe not so obvious. Also, like things to not break, some warnings, everything that is important for me. So I can start by reading this document. So we have this, let's go to work. I don't want to just vibe code everything. I want to learn from every generation. And I want the AI to know the context about how I want to learn. So I don't want to just explain things to me. I want it to explain things to me, like knowing that I'm a senior developer with 6 years of experience in React and Next.js, right? So to do these things and reuse these practices when doing the project and when learning, I use cursor commands for that. So cursor commands, it's a way to somehow reuse the prompts that you use multiple times, and it's very simple. You just put it in a folder. They can be in a repository if you want to share it with the team. Or you can also use it in your own settings, and then they will be available only to you. So then after you have these commands, you just put / your command, and you basically have this initial prompt injected, so you don't have to write it every time. And this is quite important for me. So I created these 3 commands. So you already saw the onboarding Next, so the initial command to this prompt to onboard me. But I also have explain Next and implement feature Next. So let me show how they look. So the implementation command, it's basically, I run this command. I don't have to write this whole prompt, and then I will paste the task description, and it has all the response structure. So not only how to implement it, but also how to explain it to me what the AI did and why I did it this way. And there is also explaining commands. So in case that I'm reading through code and I don't understand something, I can just ask explain Next / explain Next and then my question, and that it will know how to explain it to me, like to show this differences between Next.js and Next, Vue and React, things like that. So let's jump into a specific task. I showed you this website, and we have a task in Jira to add contact form. So this is already good because you can see that the task is, it's quite detailed. We have the user story, we have the functional requirements, we have the technical requirements. So it's a very good starting point for AI. So having this, I can, just do / implement feature Next, and then just paste, like dump everything from Jira to Cursor and just start working. And as you can see here, I'm using the plan mode. So before implementing, Cursor will write a plan and maybe ask me some additional questions. So after some, verification, if it understood the task completely, it generated the full plan. I can then read through it. I can, verify, from my expert, perspective, if it's a good way to approach this problem. And most of these things are, universal between, Next.js or Next.js. It's just front end and it's just, development. So I can verify it and then I can just build it. So, we had this really good task, and actually most of the things were done in the first shot. And it also provided me, as you can see here, the differences in the implementation here and how I would do it in Next.js. So this is the result. And as a one shot, it looks really good. It has all the validation. It has the API route to handle the request on the back end. So everything works. But I want to learn. So then I can just run explain next, and I noticed that there are no imports for some function in a file. And for me, it's strange because in Next.js and in React, I have to import everything. So it reads the files and it tries to explain to me that, okay, in Next we have auto imports. So this is how it works. And this is what gets auto imported, how you use it, how to change my thinking from Next.js to Next. Okay, so we have the first part, to use AI as a translator. It can translate some Next concept that it generated or that are in the project already. It can translate it to my Next.js knowledge so that I can learn easily. But can I trust it? Partially, yes, the models are really smart these days. But there is still a possibility that the model will generate for me something that is not the best practice, that is wrong, that is not according to the documentation. So I need a way to verify it. So I can just give AI access to some knowledge. So normally, without AI, when I have some problems, I would go to the documentation, try to find a part about it, read it, and then learn. But here, when AI generates code to me, it's based on the training data of the model. So I want to use MCP server to give the model additional knowledge and tools. In this case, when I ask the question, model will decide if it requires external knowledge or not. And if yes, it will call the MCP server to get that knowledge and to return it to me and use it to generate final response. So there is this Next MCP server, which I installed it in my MCP tools in Cursor. And it has these different tools like listing documentation pages, getting specific documentation page, even getting blog posts from Next. So I can then update my explain command to always use Next MCP when explaining the concepts. And then how it will work, next time when I do explain Next, what it will do, it first tries to understand what is my question, and then it runs list documentation pages, and then it fetches the specific page from the documentation, and based on that knowledge, it explains to me, in this case, how API handlers, API routes work in Next versus what I know from Next.js. So we have the second point covered, trust but verify. So we have this knowledge verified by checking the official documentation of Next. Now let's get to build knowledge. And it's really nice to have some nodes, but you may say that, okay, but you have the documentation. Why do you want additional nodes? So again, I want the nodes tailored for me. Like I want the nodes with this context that I am the front-end developer. I know Next.js, so I don't want the basics in the nodes. I want this translation between Next.js and Next, React to Vue. So again, to build knowledge, we'll use the MCP again, but in this case, not for reading the data, but more for writing the data somewhere. So I installed Notion MCP that I authenticated with my Notion account. And then when I created this command safe learning, so after I explain something, I can run safe learning, and it will first see what I already have in Notion. So maybe I can just update some specific node in Notion. And in this case, there was no node about server API routes. So it created a new node in my Notion account. And then, I have it in my Next Learning Notes folder. I have a full, nicely formatted node about API routes and comparison between Next.js and Next API routes. So this is great. I already have my 3 points covered. As a bonus thing, code review is really helpful, and always it can be code review from experienced Vue developer. If you have access to that, that's always great. Like, you're generating code, learning something, and then you ask some experienced senior Vue developer for a review, and then you can discuss about these different concepts and learn even more. But if you're working on a solo project and you don't have access to like your teammate that knows Vue, AI can also do code review for you, and it also can be useful. So in this case, I connected CodeRabbit to my repository, and what CodeRabbit does, it creates this really nice explanation of changes, even draws some diagrams, and then it found actually some comments, some not so major nitpick comments, but also a few major issues that I can then, even it created me prompt for AI agent that I can just directly copy to Cursor and ask it to fix the issue. So this is also very useful, especially when I'm working with the technology that is new for me, that I can have this second pair of virtual eyes that will read through my code and additionally verify if it makes sense, if there are no issues. So this is always useful. So to summarize, for the AI learning, my protocol. So use AI as a translator. So not only teach me Vue, teach me how it works, provide it your context, what you already know, what is your level of experience, and then translate your knowledge from React to Vue or the other way, or it can work for any technology. Use plan mode in Cursor, or just in any tool, just require AI to plan before implementation. This is generally a good practice, but especially when learning, because you can read through it, verify it, and actually ask some questions even before implementation. Verify with docs, so you can connect MCP with official documentation, and the model can fetch it and verify its knowledge. Get code reviewed, senior developer, or even AI tools like CodeRabbit, Greptile, Buzz. There are multiple tools like that. And build your system. So create your reusable prompts, commands, persistent nodes. This way, I think following this protocol and this system, you can learn new technology at the same time when doing a project. And I think this learning can be much more effective than just writing code and hoping it works. So that's all. Thank you very much. And if you want to get in touch, follow me on LinkedIn or contact me, and I'll be happy to talk. Thank you.